Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Michelle, and we're going to be talking about how to make your children excited about reading. In this video, I will begin by telling you a little bit about myself. Then we'll look at the research around why reading to young children is so important. I'll give you some easy to implement strategies to use in your own home to spark interest in reading in your kids. And then finally, we'll talk about what reading looks like for every age level. You can find timestamps for each of those sections in the description of the video, along with a PDF document that summarizes the information I give, along with some extra tidbits just for you. Again, my name is Michelle. I'm a mother of two. My son is 6 years old and just finished kindergarten. And my daughter is 2, and your typically opinionated toddler. I have a bachelor's of science in education and a master's of teaching English to speakers of other languages. I taught English as a second language for 8.5 years before deciding to stay home with my own young children. I'm also an avid reader and have been since I was a child. Almost everyone knows that reading to young children is important, but most people probably can't say why. So let's talk about that. For one, reading is a bonding experience between you and your child. Snuggling up with that book at the end of the day, it really helps to strengthen that parent-child bond, just like sitting down to eat dinner together. For older children, it's a chance to connect over stories that you love and experiences that you've had. Reading out loud to young children also strengthens their cognitive development. Studies have shown that babies who are read to from a young age have better problem solving and critical thinking skills later in life. Reading to children also accelerates their vocabulary development. Books regularly contain words that they don't otherwise hear in day-to-day life. It also helps them understand words they do know in a new way. Along with the academic benefits, there are social and emotional benefits to reading out loud to your children. Reading out loud can help children gain valuable communication skills that would help them interact with their family and their peers later in life. Books can also help students with difficult situations. A story about going to the doctor's office or the first day of school might help make these situations less stressful for your child. Books are also great for sparking imagination. Books with a little bit of fantasy will help your child's natural creativity just take off. And lastly, reading to your child creates a love of reading. The more positive experiences your child has with reading at a young age, the more likely they are to continue reading as they grow. Now that we've talked about why reading is so important, let's talk about how to get your child interested in reading. The first thing is to make reading out loud a priority. Set a time every day where you're going to read out loud with your child. In my house, with my son, we read when he gets up in the morning before his sister is running around. And then we all read together as a family at the end of the night before bed. Once you've decided when you're going to read aloud to your child, you need to find some good books. One strategy is to find a book series that you love. In my house, we love the Pigeon books by Mo Willems. My older son is just starting to get into the Magic Treehouse books by Mary Pope Osborne. These are a great young chapter book. Some children may latch on to a favorite author. One favorite in our house is Dan Santat. His whimsical illustrations and delightful storylines are sure to interest any child. Other children may be drawn to a favorite character, like Clifford. One bonus of these characters is they could also see them on TV, which would interest them even more. Don't discount classic books like Brown Bear, What Do You See? By Eric Carle, or The Little Engine That Could by Waddy Piper. Sharing these books from your childhood will be a special experience for you and your child. Not all books need to be a serious endeavor either. Take a look for some funny books like Don't Touch the Button by Dan Cotter, or There's a Bird on Your Head by Mo Willems. My son and I cannot get through this one without erupting in giggles. Older kids may enjoy comic books or graphic novels. Don't discourage this. Graphic novels and comic books have excellent storylines and can offer a lot of literacy value. Another strategy to help your child love reading is to show them that you love reading. They should be able to see you choosing reading over your phone or a TV show. This will show them that reading is important and enjoyable. And lastly, have books around the house. Even if you don't have books readily available like I do, practice going to the library every week to get new ones. Let's talk about what reading looks like for children at every age level. For infants up to age 6 months, you want to read board books with high contrast images, like these black and white books. Your goal at this stage is not necessarily reading the text on the page, but rather talking about what you see. Right now, the biggest thing is that children are equating reading with feeling loved and cared for. For children aged 6 to 12 months, you're still going to want to be using board books, so the pages can't get ripped, and when children put them in their mouths, it's okay. Children at this age like simple images, especially of babies and other animals. The text should be short, with just a few words on the page or simple sentences. Sandra Boynton books are very popular with this age group. They have colorful pictures and just one sentence per page. Children between the age of 1 and 3 will still enjoy board books, but may start to enjoy some picture books as well. They will begin to enjoy books with a little bit more text and maybe even a simple storyline. My own 2-year-old loves these 100 first word books. She likes to point to a picture and tell me that's a doll or that's a ball. Or she likes it when I ask her, where are the penguins? She's also begun to like storybooks, like the Piggy and Elephant books by Mo Willems. At this age, children have a very short attention span though, so don't be surprised if they don't sit for a whole story. If they want to get up and walk away, let them. They'll come back to it later. At the preschool age, between 3 and 5, children will begin to enjoy stories with a plot, characters who have a problem. In my house, the books Stella Luna and Giraffes Can't Dance were favorites, and we read them many, many times. At this age, you can start to ask your child questions about the stories they read. You can ask questions before they read, like what did they think will happen, or why did you choose to read this book? You can ask questions during a story, like what would you do if you were in that character's shoes, or what do you think is going to happen next? And at the end of the story, you can ask them what they liked or what they didn't like, or what they learned. Children will start to pick up books and explore them independently. They may mimic reading behavior, and this should be encouraged. Once children enter school, they will be fully immersed in picture books. Some may even show an interest in beginning chapter books. However, don't get rid of those board books yet, because they may come back to them still. As children learn to read to themselves, it is still important to read out loud. Again, it will help with bonding, creativity, and cognitive development. Again, thank you so much for joining me. I hope I gave you some helpful information and inspired you to read with your children. Have a great day.